Hello everyone, this is a Sivir guide. This video will include abilities, masteries, matchup, item order, pros and cons. Now, let's together take a look at the pros and cons of Sivir. Now look at the pros. Great scaling, strong team fighting, easy to pick up, CC begone. And now look at the cons. Short range, very item reliant, weak laning, bad into tanks. Now let's take a look at the champion mastery page together. Here, you can make adjustments according to your own playstyle. Lethal tempo is the best keystone for crit Sivir, in my opinion. It gives you attack speed, which is necessary in order to be doing damage, and it is great for fighting during early game. The extra range is really nice in order to kill enemies before they can get away from you. Pretty standard and decent in any game. Press the attack is a situationally good run. I like to take it when I have an aggressive early game support, like a Leona or a Pike. The Rooney will give you some extra damage to capitalize on your support's catch in the early game. I like to always take presence of mind. Sivir is generally a mana-hungry champion, and you can quickly run out of it in extended team fights. You need your abilities to deal damage, and they cost a fairly high amount in the early game, so that you can't perma-push lane. But if you are really confident about your mana usage, you can go Triumph or Overheal. You don't get a lot of value from Overheal if you don't go Legend. Bloodline, though. Take Legend. Bloodline, if you need more sustain and HP in your game. You will not build lifesteal in most of your games, so it always has its value, but I find it a weaker rune. Legend. Alacrity feels really good, and it spares you from building his items early on, but it lacks the late game sustain. If you don't get Red Buff or Bloodthirster, you may have to recall after a fight and end up losing tempo because of it. Go Cut Down or Coup de Grace, depending on your needs. Cut Down against beefy teams and tank supports. Coup de Grace for the rest of the games. Depending on the opponent's situation and the game's composition, you can make these selections. You can choose Doran's Blade, Health Potion, and Stealth Ward as your starting items. After first base back, for your early item pick, you can go for Noon Quiver, Pickaxe, Boots. Up to 20 minutes, you can consider purchasing Kraken Slayer, Berserker's Greaves, and Navori Quickblades. For your full build, after getting Lord Dominic's regards recently, you can continue with Phantom Dancer and Bloodthirster. This is a passive ability. Fleet of Foot. Sivir gains movement speed when she hits an enemy champion with Boomerang Blade, Ricochet, or a basic attack. The amount changes every 5 levels. This is a Q ability. Boomerang Blade. Sivir hurls her crossblade, dealing damage to all enemies it cuts through before returning, dealing damage a second time. This ability deals less damage per non-champion hit, down to a minimum amount. This is a W ability. Ricochet. For the next 4 seconds, Sivir gains attack speed, and her auto attacks are empowered to bounce to additional surrounding enemies, dealing physical damage on each bounce for up to 8 bounces. This ability deals less damage to minions. These bounces critically strike if the auto attack generating them does. Ricochet also executes minions below 15 HP. This is an E ability, Spell Shield. Sivir creates a magical barrier that blocks the next incoming enemy ability. If an ability is blocked, Sivir restores health and triggers Fleet of Foot. This is an ultimate. On the hunt. Sivir rallies her nearby allies, granting them movement speed. Sivir's auto attacks against champions, while on the hunt reduce the cooldown of her basic abilities. Takedowns on recently damaged enemies refresh the duration of the hunt.